Hello guys, now I will show you how you can improve your English, especially your reading, your vocabulary using Okuzeka app. It's actually an app, but for the video purposes I will record this on my computer, but the app is the same thing and you can use anywhere you go, anywhere you are. So this is the app. This is the website of the app. What it does is, when you read a book, it doesn't matter your own book. I mean, a book you found from somewhere, the PDF version, the EPUB version, or a book that you can find in our bookstore. Right now we have 124 books. All of them are free. You can read them too. So I will just start with a book that is popular all around the world, The Little Prince. So we just click on the book and you can download the PDF or EPUB and you can read in another app maybe, but also you can read here. The good part here is you can actually click on the words. Let me show you a demo here. Let's make it Turkish, for instance. My native language is Turkish, so I will try with Turkish. So you start reading. The grown-ups are certainly altogether extraordinary. So, for instance, you don't know the meaning of certainly. You just click on it and it brings the meaning and you continue reading like this. But this meaning is not a normal translator meaning. So when you look at the meaning from a dictionary or a translator, you see maybe 10 meanings for one word, but it doesn't know in which situation the word was used and what was the meaning in this context. So it doesn't know. But here Okuzeka knows the sentence. It looks around the word, understands the sentence, and then brings the meaning that's appropriate here. So you can read without stopping and you can just continue like this. What effect does this have? So a lot of people don't know about how effective this method is. So it was my way of learning. I'm not an English teacher or something. I'm just an engineer, and this was my way of learning English. So, and also if I would try to learn any other language, I would do this way. So maybe some basic learning should be maybe some grammar, maybe some necessary vocabulary, but after you come to maybe A2 level, you should start reading like this. Even if you don't use Okuzeka app, you should certainly read books and translate the words that you don't know the meaning, and by doing this repeatedly, I mean when you read thousands of pages without learning grammar or without a lot of lessons, you will naturally understand how the language works actually. For instance, I don't know any language rules or any grammar, but I feel like it. So I feel like this way it is true. I mean, when I try to talk, I just try to talk the way it comes to my mind. So it is the way a child learns without learning grammar, because grammar is like math, but the nature of the language is not math. It is more like something intuitively, something from inside, that you need to grasp the core of the language. So it helped me a lot. So I made it for everyone, so everyone can do the same thing. When you finish like 4 to 5 books like this, like 200 pages books, 300 pages books, 5 book like this, you will understand what I mean. And why does this happen? Because, so let me show you by practice. So I added this to my library, and when I open it, I will start. So once, let's say I am A2 level. Okay, I don't know the meaning of once. I look, so in Turkish bir zamanlar. And then I saw this one. When I was 6 years old, I saw a magnificent, maybe, I don't know. So it brought the meaning. And then you read like this, all the book. And then when you read like this, you see, for instance, the word once like 20 times, because you read a lot of books. And when you see a word like 3-4 times in context with the book you are reading, I mean, it is not separated from the context. You see how it works, how this word is used in different places. And learning is not like this. You memorize a word like 20 times, you read that word and it's finished. No, memorizing works like you see a thing, a word, anything. It is like not just a language. You see something and then you forget it. Some time passes and then you see it again, and some time passes and you see it again. Then your brain just remembers this because it came in different places, so it remembers. But if you learned that word like by memorizing a flashcard, you wouldn't remember this word maybe. And it is not just the words, it is also the grammar. So when you read like 1,000 page, so you see how words are aligned together, and what kind of grammar is used without knowing the grammar rule. But you come to understand the nature of the language. So let's try reading the Little Prince book, and see the meanings of the words that we don't know. So we look at not once, and when I was 6 years old, I saw a magnificent picture in a book called The True Stories from Nature, about the primeval. I don't know the primeval. Actually, in the app, you can also look how these words, this vocabulary sounds. I mean, what's the pronunciation of these words? So you can also make your pronunciation improve. So it was a picture of a boa constrictor. So it is probably this one. The constrictor means yılan. Okay. The act of swallowing. Okay, swallowing is a hard word for me. I don't know. I know the meaning, but these are so it brings act of swallowing as a whole, and brings the meaning for me. Here's a copy of drawing. So for instance, if I don't know what is drawing, I just click. So I probably guessed that it is something came from draw, and drawing, it is like a verb for me. But when it comes like this, drawing, it is a, drawing. This is called drawing, çizim in Turkish. So the meaning becomes in context with what you read. So you don't go to translator and come back, and it's not a good way to read a book, every time you interrupt your reading, and you wouldn't find the enthusiasm to read that book again. You just try once and then you just let it go. But if you are lost in the story, for instance, you can read very good books, books that take you away from the from your room, and you live in it, so reading becomes easy, but it should be uninterrupted, so you can continue like reading thousands of pages. So in the book it said boa constrictor swallow, for instance. We looked at it, you know, swallowing. We looked at it, yutma eylemi. And then here again, swallow. In a different use case of this word. So this is the second time. Imagine when you read the whole book, then you will maybe see 20 times this word, and you will memorize this word. Let's add this to my cards, and then I can practice maybe this word. Their prey. What's prey? Avlarını in Turkish, avlarını. Maybe I can try in another language. Let's do English to English. Okay. Their prey whole. Whole, all of it. Okay. Without chewing it. Chewing. What is chewing? You just look at the meaning. Without using the teeth to break food down. Okay, understandable. It brought the whole without chewing, you know. After that, they are not able to move, and they sleep through 6 months that they need for digestion. What is digestion? Okay, let's see. The process of breaking down food in the body. Okay, understandable. So you can do this to English to English, and also you can do this for any language that's here. There are like a lot of languages here. I can try this with, I don't know. Let's do Persian, for instance. I pondered deeply. What is pondered? This. And then adventures of the jungle. And after some work with a colored pencil, I succeeded in making my first drawing. My drawing number 1. It looked something like this. Okay, we looked at drawing, for instance. If I forgot the meaning, so I will check it again. Okay, and here, if the word is exactly the same, you will see how many times you looked at this word. Let's add this word to my cards. So I showed my masterpiece. What is masterpiece? Okay. Let's say I understand Persian. For instance, we can try any other language, French. Grown-ups. Look. You just could click on grown, but it brings grown-ups too. It looks at it. So for instance, use means something, and used to means something. When the words are together, they can have different meanings, and you can now find them in the dictionary. So we can read it like this. Whether the drawing, let's see drawing again. I forgot. What was drawing? Okay, it's the third time I'm looking at drawing. But they answered frightened. Why should anyone be frightened by a hat? So let's see in another language. I don't know what language is. If you know, just pitch. I can't even read this language. But if you know, just write in the comments. Okay, I forgot drawing. Okay, what was drawing? It is the 4th time I'm looking at drawing. So now I start to remember this word. I won't forget because I saw this word in 4 different places. Not a picture of hat. What is hat? Let's see. Is it Polish? Probably not, but my guess. Just because of the P. It was a picture of a boa constrictor. I remember this from here. What was there? I looked at it. Yeah, I'm sure. Boa constrictor, yeah. The snake. Boa constrictor, the boa snake. Digesting. I remember this, digesting. Okay, just we see this, and but since the grown-ups, okay, we looked at grown-ups again, we're not able to understand it. I made another drawing. Let's see what does the drawing mean. This is the fifth time. I drew the inside of boa constrictor. What is the review? Okay, you cannot just look at this like in the dictionary, because it is the past tense of something, and here it means brings that meaning, not the one that is written in the dictionary. So that the grown-ups could see it clearly. They always need to have things explained. My drawing number 2 looked like this. Okay. The grown-ups' response this time was to advise me to lay aside my drawings. Lay aside. Okay, let's look what is lay. So if you don't know the language, you would just go and look at lay. But lay aside as a whole has a meaning, you know. When you combine some words together, they have completely different meanings from the separated one. Okay, aside has some meaning, lay has some meaning. Okay, it is reasonable, lay aside, but you have to know this. So this app helps because it brings those words together. My drawings of boa constrictors. Weather. What is weather? Weather, is it like weather? Okay, let's see what does it mean. So it means something in this language. I don't know this language. Okay, let's see another language, Arabic. From the inside or the outside. And devote myself. What is devote? Devote myself. It brought it together. I know what is devote. I know what devote means, but I wouldn't know if I was maybe A2 level, B1 level, instead of geography, history, arithmetic, and grammar. That is why at the age of 6, I gave up what might have been a magnificent. What is magnificent? I looked at this word before. I remember, but what does it mean? I can look at together. As a painter, I had been disheartened. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, by the failure of my drawing number 1 and my drawing number 2. Grown-ups never understand anything by themselves, and it is tiresome for children to be always and forever explaining things to them. So when you read without knowing the meaning of the word, you can guess, because it is inside the other words that you know the meaning. So for tiresome, for instance, I know that what this sentence going to tell me, but I don't know this tiresome, but I can guess because I know what is tire, and probably tiresome is related to something to this, and from the context of from the meaning of the sentence I can understand this word. But let's check if I understood correctly. Let's see in Turkish, the language I know of. Let's see. So yeah, my guess was right. So we can just continue like this. So I finished 3 pages now, and I can continue reading like this, and I can finish every book in a day, and by doing this maybe 3 months, 4 months, I think someone from A2 level can bring it himself, herself to C1 level in reading, actually, especially. It helps in speaking, because when you read a lot, you know the words, but speaking also needs another practice. But in reading and vocabulary, I believe also in grammar, because you will see a lot of grammar without knowing what the grammar is. I mean, what the actual rule is. By doing this for 3 months, you read every day, I think you can improve your English a lot. not just English. You can use this app for a lot of languages. Maybe it wouldn't work for Arabic, Persian as the original text. Vice versa, it works, but as the original text it might not work because separating them was so hard. So for now I couldn't separate the words, but maybe later I will make some improvements on the app, and maybe later we can read those languages too and learn those languages. Thank you for listening to me. I hope this video shows up somewhere for you, and I hope you can find the time to read books. Actually, reading a book is something good that lots of us, we don't do it anymore. We just scroll on the social media, TikTok and Reels, and so we just forgot to read. But actually there's the whole world in the books that we just forgot. So thank you for listening, thank you for watching me. See you next time.